The arena filled with purple mist as the crowd of Zephyrian women roared their approval. Captain Lisa Morgan watched from the royal viewing platform as the massive alien warrior stepped into the combat ring below. The creature stood 12 feet, tall with 4 muscular arms and skin like polished obsidian. "Your champion looks impressive," Lisa said to Queen Vera, the ruler of this warrior planet. The queen's silver eyes gleamed with confidence as she adjusted her ceremonial armor. "Korath has never lost a battle," Queen Vera replied, her voice carrying the musical tone common to her species. "He has defeated warriors from 17 different worlds." Lisa nodded politely but kept her expression neutral. She had come to this distant planet seeking an alliance between Earth and the Zephyrian Empire. The negotiations had been going well until Queen Vera insisted on this trial by combat. According to their ancient customs, any species seeking partnership must prove their worth in single combat. "And you truly believe this small human can match our champion?" asked Commander Zara, the Queen's military advisor. She gestured toward the center of the arena where a lone figure in basic military fatigues stood waiting. The human looked almost comical next to the towering alien warrior. Staff Sergeant Amy Collins wore standard Earth military gear with lightweight body armor that seemed laughably inadequate compared to Korath's massive form. The Zephyrian women in the arena began to laugh as they took in the size difference. "Look how tiny she is," called out one warrior from the stands. "Her armor is made of cloth," mocked another. Queen Vera raised her hand for silence, though amusement still danced in her eyes. "Human Captain Morgan, are you certain you do not wish to withdraw your champion and send someone more suitable?" Lisa looked down at Amy, who was calmly checking her equipment. The sergeant had volunteered immediately when Lisa explained the situation. Amy Collins had served in 3 different wars and earned more medals than any other soldier in her unit. More importantly, she had that particular look in her eyes that Lisa had learned to recognize over the years. "Sergeant Collins is exactly who we need," Lisa replied firmly. The Queen shrugged elegantly. "Very well. Let the trial begin." A deep horn sounded across the arena. Korath immediately charged forward, all 4 arms reaching for Amy. The crowd expected the fight to end in seconds. Instead, Amy stepped sideways, with fluid grace, and struck the giant's knee with the edge of her hand. Korath stumbled but quickly recovered, spinning to face her again. The crowd fell silent in surprise. "Interesting," Queen Vera murmured. Korath attacked again, this time more carefully. His massive fists created sonic booms as they cut through the air, but Amy was never where they landed. She moved like water, flowing around his strikes while landing precise hits to pressure points and joints. "How is she so fast?" Commander Zara asked, leaning forward in her seat. Lisa smiled slightly. "Earth has higher gravity than most inhabited worlds. What seems normal to us requires tremendous strength and speed elsewhere." The fight continued for several minutes. Korath grew more frustrated as his attacks failed to connect. The crowd watched in growing amazement as the small human continued to evade and counterattack. Amy's strategy became clear. She was targeting the alien's mobility, weakening his legs and lower torso with surgical strikes. "She fights like a scientist," observed the Queen. "Every movement has purpose." "Human military training emphasizes efficiency over spectacle," Lisa explained. "We study anatomy and physics to find the most effective methods." Korath finally managed to clip Amy with a backhand strike that sent her rolling across the arena floor. The crowd cheered, thinking the fight was over. But Amy rolled smoothly back to her feet and wiped blood from her mouth with a calm expression. The alien champion hesitated. He had expected fear, desperation, or at least surprise. Instead, Amy looked at him with the same calculating stare she had worn from the beginning. She was studying him, learning his patterns, adapting her approach. "Your warrior shows no fear," Queen Vera noted with growing respect. "Fear is useful for survival but problematic for victory," Lisa replied. "We teach our soldiers to process it quickly and move forward." Korath launched another assault, but something had changed. Amy no longer simply evaded his attacks, she began to predict them. She ducked under swings before they fully started and stepped away from grabs the moment Korath committed to the movement. The alien's breathing grew labored. Despite his size advantage, the constant movement and repeated impacts were taking their toll. Amy, meanwhile, seemed to be getting faster and more precise with each exchange. How long can she maintain this pace? Commander Zara asked. Human endurance is legendary throughout the galaxy for good reason, Lisa said. Our ancestors hunted by running prey to exhaustion across vast distances. Amy can fight at this intensity for hours if necessary. The tide of battle shifted dramatically. Korath's movements became slower and more telegraphed while Amy pressed her advantage. She began landing combinations of strikes instead of single hits, systematically dismantling the champion's defenses. The crowd grew restless. Many had never seen their champion struggle against any opponent, let alone one so much smaller. Whispers spread through the stands as the reality of the situation became clear. Korath is losing, someone called out, in disbelief. Impossible, another replied, but doubt crept into her voice. Queen Vera stood from her throne, her expression intense. This human fights with intelligence rather than just strength. Our species values both, Lisa confirmed. Physical power without tactical thinking leads to defeat against prepared opponents. Amy chose that moment to execute her finishing sequence. As Korath swung wildly with all four arms, she dropped low and swept his legs. The massive alien crashed to the ground with tremendous force. Before he could recover, Amy was behind him with her arm around his throat in a blood choke. Korath struggled briefly, but the hold was perfectly applied. Within seconds, he went limp, and Amy released him immediately. She checked his pulse and breathing before stepping back to ensure he was uninjured but defeated. The arena fell completely silent. No one moved or spoke as the implications sank in. Their undefeated champion lay unconscious while the small human stood calmly over him, barely breathing hard. Queen Vera slowly descended from the royal platform and walked to the center of the arena. Amy stood at attention as the queen approached, showing proper respect, but no submission. In 300 years of trials, no champion has ever fallen, the queen said, her voice carrying across the silent arena. You have accomplished something that seemed impossible. Your champion fought with honor, Amy replied respectfully. His strength and skill are impressive. I was simply better prepared for this specific type of combat. The queen studied Amy for a long moment, then turned to address her people. Warriors of Zephyria, we have witnessed something remarkable today. This human has shown us that power takes many forms. Size and strength matter, but intelligence, training, and determination can overcome seemingly impossible odds. She faced Lisa, who had joined them in the arena. Captain Morgan, your species has proven their worth through combat, but more importantly, through the character your warrior has displayed. She defeated our champion but showed mercy and respect. She fought with honor and skill rather than brutality. Sergeant Collins represents the best of humanity, Lisa replied. We believe that true strength comes from protecting others and solving problems through wisdom when possible, force only when necessary. Queen Vera nodded approvingly. The Zephyrian Empire agrees to your proposed alliance. We would be honored to count humans among our allies and friends. The crowd erupted in cheers, but they were different now. Instead of bloodthirsty roars, they were expressions of genuine respect and admiration. Many of the alien warriors approached Amy to ask about her techniques and training methods. Later, as they prepared to depart, Commander Zara pulled Lisa aside. I must ask, did you know your warrior would win? Lisa considered the question carefully. I knew that underestimating humans based on appearance is usually a mistake. Amy volunteered because she understood what victory here would mean for both our species. She was willing to risk everything for the chance to build bridges between our peoples. And if she had lost, then we would have found another way to prove our worth. Humans are persistent above all else. We do not give up easily on things that matter. Commander Zara smiled. I think this alliance will be very beneficial for both our species. As their ship lifted off from the planet's surface, Amy joined Lisa on the bridge, Thank you for trusting me with this mission, she said quietly. Thank you for proving that humans deserve that trust, Lisa replied. Your victory today opened doors that diplomacy alone never could have. Amy looked back at the planet shrinking. Behind them. They are good people, different from us, but they value honor and strength. I think we will work well together. Because you showed them what human strength really looks like. Amy shrugged. I just did my job. Lisa laughed. Somehow I doubt Queen Vera's champion will see it as just a job when he wakes up. The two women shared a moment of quiet satisfaction as their ship jumped to hyperspace, carrying news of humanity's newest allies back to Earth. Behind them on Zephyria, the